Hi Gemini, if you want to come on in have a seat for some symbolic support, here's your ink blot made in your name and essence, a scroll style. And let's see, as I explore your abstract aura, what shapes or symbols stand out and speak. Thank you for holding space for me to share my insights. I'm going to dig in here. Geminis. I feel like you might have given your right arm to something. Or at least that's how I'm feeling. I feel like I just gave off like my right arm, but it might actually be my left arm. So I don't know if that means something to you in regards to strength or is symbology. Right arm to something. I'm seeing like knives being drawn out like of their casing or swords. It just reminds me of swords, the Four of Swords specifically. I feel like this is a boundary. Like I'm drawing the boundary very, very clearly. Now I say Four of Swords, but I'm actually seeing the two swords with the two casings of the swords. Two of Swords, Four of Swords. This perspective, I suppose. Oh, there is a little chickadee up there. I'm protecting this chickadee. And this chickadee represents something I care about, and I'm protecting it. I will serve and protect it all costs, kind of thing. I don't know if it's an idea I have, gems, or a new connection. It's making me feel like I'm seeing the little baby Yoda from the Mandalorian. But I'm seeing it like a little chickadee. And it's in my hair. So it's in the crown chakra space. Like I said, I can't determine if it's a connection I care about, an idea, or something along that lines. I feel like if you know, you know, and you'll be able to apply that understanding what you're very protective about. Oh, and I'm listening. I'm seeing bugles. Bugles. You know, though, is it like like horns out the ears? I am listening. I feel I'm inspired. Gems. And I'm looking around as I almost can't pinpoint where the inspiration is coming from. So it could be in the invisible realms, in the very esoteric landscapes, or amidst the, interdimensions of things. Because I almost can't quite place where my inspirations are coming from, but I know to be very protective over this egg. I don't know if you're working on a gift, a different skill of the sixth senses type thing, or the spirit senses, whatever the case may be. Maybe it's very tangible and it's I'm going to school, I'm going back to school, or this, that, or the other. You choose the channel. I'm also seeing a peacock. This chickadee thing will turn into a peacock. Interesting. There's something about nurturing it. It's like it's on the sides of me. Like it's right about here. And I'm nurturing it, even though I know it's in my crown. But it's like the work, this is where the nest is. But the work I do is kind of like off to the side. So I don't know if this is something you do as a side hustle, or an idea you have to start a business alongside your job or your career, family, and then you have this other thing that you do as well. But it's at the sides of me. Interestingly enough, from your ink blot, I'm also protective of this. So Geminis, I feel very protective. But it doesn't feel exhausting. It's just things I really care about. And one's up in the crown, but the work's being done here. Yes, while I'm here, I am doing this work. I kind of want to say, Gemini, there's this feeling of like I've given my right arm as the saying, but it's like, you know, the work maybe you've done over days, weeks, months, years to be here or to be aware of this, to pursue this. You know, maybe like if you had kids and you're like, okay, when the kids are in school, okay, when the kids are in high school, when the kids go off to college, I can start to pursue this. That isn't necessarily the case unless it resonates, but that's the feeling, like what you've done to be here in this point. There's been sacrifices along the way, but you've given your right arm to do it. Even if there's a feeling of like being born, like the chickadee, and coming down into your soul, your spirit, into the earthly expression. I can't help but feel like a part of you really wanted to be here to make this life happen. And Gems, that's how this is feeling. To make this life happen. There is purpose, there's drive, there is something very dear you care about. Even if I may, for some, as it just came through, there is like a twin, a soulmate, friend, or family member. It doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. There is somebody currently in existing that you came in and reincarnated and you had this lifetime because they too are here. And I'm seeing like a story. Okay, it's What Dreams May Come, the movie What Dreams May Come. Absolutely love it. Near the end, they decide to do it again. That's what this makes me feel like. Let's do it again. Oh, it kind of makes me like, kind of makes me emotional, Gems. I'm not going to lie. Now, even if this isn't in regards to, you know, a person, or if there's something, we're going to do this again. It's like there's a task, there's an ability, there's a skill that you are here learning, relearning, and not even in because you forgot, because you're trying to get better and better and better at it, so that when you go back, or when you're home being maybe in your family's town, or home spirit in the sky, you are armed. There's that arm again. You were armed with even more. Like your mission was to do this, and you wanted to do it. I don't know. I feel very charged. I feel very charged when I land in that. Any of those storylines that are coming through. There's another. I think an owl came through in your last one, Gems. But there's a different, it's funny how the owl comes through in different symbols for me. So this is like a mature owl. And I'm seeing the owl from Winnie the Pooh. The Winnie the Pooh owl. I think he's like, I see him like with a graduation hat, and maybe a little scryical as well. I can't remember. This is that. I feel like you graduated. And so maybe you actually graduated something, and congratulations. But in another aspect, staying in the aura as a guest in your energy, so thank you for that. I feel as though I've graduated to be here, because you might be like a professor on a different planet, in a different parallel life, something along that lines. And it's very wise why you're here. It's very wise why you're here. That chickadee is important. Somebody might even be a teacher of different ages. Like, I don't know if you do something that provides something to a lot of different age groups, or young souls, young eyes. Inspired eyes is actually the word I heard. Leave age out of it. It's inspired eyes. Interesting. I don't think I've ever heard that before. Inspiring eyes. And for some reason, as soon as I said that, I saw your sign, Gems, as the two eyes, as my two eyes. And then I was brought back to the two swords, the casings coming off, being protective of that, of what your mission, your goal, your purpose, your drive, or why you do something on the side. You know, Maybe you do charity work on the side. I don't know if anyone's questioning you, like, well, why do you do that? And you're like, I don't need to respond of a why. I do it because I care about it. That's why. Because I care. And that's not to say because somebody else may or may not do things the way you do them, that they don't care. It's not, you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes people might be like, oh, just because you care, so, and then they're suddenly like, well, I care too, but I don't do that. And the gems are like, you asked me a question, I answered. The reflection of you assuming, because this is what I do to show how I care or what I care about and how I want to express this and have this experience while I'm here, I wasn't implying you don't care, but it's being reflected back to inspire that person as they may do that. And then maybe the gems and their brilliance here of their wisdom of this professor says, well, how would you like to express your care? Or how do you? What do you care about? What inspires you? What interests you? And maybe that can help lead you to have those things that you care about, or just be curious and be youthful again, or just young at heart type thing. You don't say have youthful again, just in general, right? To inspire the eyes. Okay, I'm going to flip it to win it here, gems, and I'm going to start adding on some tarot. Like I'm all like tucked in, like I'm, ooh, Geminis, and my energy is very, very high and vibratory. So I'm going to take that in though, because it's very easy to be very serious, especially as we're, adults, but how beautiful it is to kind of be excitable. Okay, so I feel like I am on, when I flipped it here to win it, okay, I feel as though I'm on a different planet all of a sudden. So specifically, I'm hearing Pleiadians might have a connection to that. I'm going to say star system or beings, this, that, or the other, or just simply something else in the sky. It's a portion of you. I'm hearing, don't worry about claiming something as home. It's just a portion of you. May have already had that experience, has had that experience in the past, or will have had it in the future. Interesting. Okay. And they're like floating crystal balls. I'm seeing if my other one. And they kind of like hover right about here. And then there's something like, it could be like mustachio style, but I don't think that's the point. There's different things sensing. And I can send these spheres, is actually the word, spheres out to like check on things. And while these mustachio hairs, I don't actually, I'm seeing them as something different, but that's the closest I can get to them. Okay, whiskers, much nicer word. Whiskers tune into things in a particular radius around me. And I feel like this might be in regards to your senses. Maybe you have a really heightened sense of smell and sight, perception, spirit sight, this, that, or the other, or intuitive sight. Ooh. This, that, or the other. I see someone looking up to you. They have a long neck. I think it might be a goose, like a mother goose. It's like a storytelling. Something about storytelling. I feel like somebody might really speak to a lot of different audiences, different ages, different sizes and shapes, different contexts. I don't know what it is, but there's just storytelling. And it is, people are listening. There's a listening happening from both sides. Because there's a connection. There's a connection that is felt even when expressing the story. Like a mother goose, like maybe even a fairy tale. I have here Ace of Wands. Interesting. So she has a book here, like storytelling, Wheel of Fortune, and the Three of Pentacles. The Wheel of Fortune feels like your owl, your Winnie the Pooh owl that came through. Wise workings. It's like I'm seeing how a clock is made, and there's a special kind of watch repairman or repair person because it's so intricate, steampunk style. Like there's just lots of different things going on, intricate details, and you're wisely like turning the gears of time. I'm being asked not to worry about it. You get it if you get it, what you're doing. You get what you get if you know what you're doing. There's something being built with other people as well. Two, I don't know if there's two people plus you or you and another person. But they are also willing to get to work with you. This could be part of that, side hustle thing, or what you care about in the crown in your nest. When you decide to build this or do this or step forward to it, like brick and mortar, I feel like there's work to it and time. It's not going to be, made out of thin air type thing. There's time and effort, but it's going to be very strong and stable. And coming into a different aspect of the story, like it's going to be very fruitful for your overall story, because it involves other characters that care. Does that make sense? I feel like it does. Okay, we're going here. All right, Geminis. I'm going to keep going and get ready to close out here. Do we have anything else? I'm seeing a rocking horse. Rocking horse, the rocking parts, the rocking rods. Something about like soothing. I think it's storytelling. That's what it makes me feel like. But maybe even the stories you tell yourself and reflections of that, Gemini. Are you telling yourself a scary story, or are you telling yourself a soothing story? And in this point of the reflection, that's what it makes me feel like I need to remember that I am choosing the story that I'm telling myself. I'm choosing the story I want to tell myself. Knight of Cups, the Chariot, and the Fool has come through as we are closing out here for... Whoops, it came in that way. For the gems. So love may be in the air if you are calling in a partner to sweep you off your feet. I feel like that's definitely a possibility should you be open to receive, right? Listen to their story, sense it, and as well, do you want them to be part of your story? On the other hand, I feel that as for those working on something in whatever it is that you would like to build, it's like one person doesn't build a house. There's different parts of people. It's a team. It's really a very collective team that builds a house. But in this case, it's whatever this flower is, because they're building the flower that inevitably comes out of the book that blooms. So there's just like another story, right? There's another side story happening that you might be building with something. And when they do step forward and when you feel it, you'll know, because that comes back to that care. The care in your crown, it will kind of light up. The chariot will get going. But it kind of makes me feel like the rocking horse. Notice sometimes, rocking horse feels like movement, but are you, standing still? But is it soothing? And that's okay. The chariot has a black and white cat here. I'm just noticing that, that's like the back and forth, the rocking, mulling, deciding. Even whether this Knight of Cups is a romantic or it's personal, professional, and it's like, I want to look at the light and dark of things, because that's the whole story I'd like to be a part of, or to heed, or to hear. And when I move towards this business adventure or this relationship, I'm kind of getting like you're an all-in kind of person, but at the same time, that means you could also be very quickly all out. And this feels more of a balance. I don't want to necessarily do the severities, right? I want to enjoy the journey that's definitely being taken supported by the Wheel of Fortune. This leap of faith, again, towards that flower, if it's business, in a relationship that's loyal. If you're loyal, they're loyal type thing. That's how I'm feeling. There's loyalty and love, and lots of stories to be shared and told. And I love it. I'm also, what is that little wee creature down there, you little sneaker? I'm seeing just the top of the caterpillar that's on the mushroom and Alice in Wonderland. But I'm just seeing the top of the caterpillar. Again, a weird wisdom. It's characters. I feel like you have characters. I love it. It feels very endearing. It feels like you're working hard at it. Like I said, you've given your right arm, you're listening, you care about things, you're very, very protective over them. But there's this leap of faith being loyal to what you're leaping, because you're loyal to what you love. All right, Geminis, I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much for being my muse. It's been an honor to explore your aura. The links are below if you'd like to help a gal grow by donating to the channel, buy me a coffee or PayPal, or request your own Rorschach. And until next time, thank you.